Now moving on to lecture 4, word processing, icdl. We want to look at the last part of our lecture. So you are going to see that this time we want to learn about editing text in a document, deleting, replacing, copying or moving, undo and redo, as well as repeat. So what we want to do here, we want to start by looking at how to edit your text in a document. There are two ways of doing it. We can make use of the insert mode, which is the default way of entering text. In this mode, the text you type is inserted at the insertion point. What are we saying? We are simply saying if we want to also to add Valentine's was born in 1893, like this. We are simply inserting one word after the other, but we can make use of the overtype now. When you use the overtype mode, the existing text to the right of the insertion point is replaced as you type. But how do you make use of the overtype mode? You go to your Word document, you click File, you click Options, you go to Advanced, you select Use the overtype mode, and you click OK. After doing that, you go to your status bar again and you select overtype, like that. So in other words, if I want to delete that and put there, it means that I will say there. So it means that it will delete, it will replace as I will be writing that. So I would simply put that. If I also want to put instead of let's look for another word, made, I want to put it as maker, I will simply say maker, like that. So, and I'll also put a space. So this is how you edit. As you can see, I'm trying to put a space, but instead of it putting a space, it is now deleting the next letter, like that. So this is how you'll be typing your text using the overtype mode. So it is not that what can I say? It is not that good though, but sometimes there are times when we need to replace words as we are typing. That is only when we use the overtype mode. So I'm putting it back to the original insert mode. So I'm removing the overtype and I also click OK, like that, so that as we insert the word, it does not delete or it does not replace with whatever I will be typing. Now let's move on to the next thing, that is the deleting text. There are different ways of deleting our text. On my Word document, I can highlight and press delete on my keyboard, or I can simply press backspace again. It is another way of deleting. So there are various ways of doing that. You can replace the selected text by simply highlighting outside. I wanted to say inside, then it's now outside. So instead of saying delete, you simply highlight and put the correct word, like this. So this is a way of replacing your text. You can also replace your text by going to the replace more function. In other words, maybe you want to replace the word names with a name. So you simply click replace, you say names with what? Name. And then you say replace all. So one replacement was done and it is okay, like that. So this is how you replace your text. Then if you want to copy or move or paste text, to copy you say Ctrl+C, or you highlight the text and copy, and right click and select copy. To cut, you highlight the text and right click and select cut, or you can highlight the text and say Control X. To paste, you can highlight the text, right click and choose paste, or you can highlight the text and press Control V. So this we can do it using the shortcut or the longest way. So I'm going to do this. We start by, maybe we want to copy this text. I've highlighted the text and I want to use the longer way of saying copy, and to paste the text, I want to paste it here. I want to use the shorter way. I'll simply press Ctrl and V on my keyboard. And to move the text, that is to cut, you can right click and also cut the text. So these are various ways of moving your or copying, or as well as pasting your text. Now the next thing that you want to do is to undo, redo and repeat. So we want to go to our Word document. Remember, we selected the undo on our quick access toolbar. So to undo, you simply click the blue arrow on your left side, and to redo, you click the blue arrow on your right side, like that. So this is how you undo and redo. Then we want to also move on to the next thing, the next objectives. Now we want to play around with our text. That is formatting, changing fonts, changing font size, applying bold, italics, underlying, changing font color, applying subscript and superscript, using the format painter, changing the case, and clearing formats. Now let's go to the Word document. So this is the Word document. Now we are going to start by maybe changing the font. We want the heading to be in Times Roman, and we want the font size to be 22. Remember, this is a heading. So what you do, if you want to make it bold, you click bold here, or Control B, like this. So this is how you do it. And if you want to underline, you click underline, and you select the type of a line that you want, or you can make use of Control U to underline. So this is that. Then if we want to format the text by, so the first thing that I'm going to do, I want it to be, if you want to move it to the left, if you want to align it to the left, you click here. To the right, you click here. Central, you click here. If you want to justify, you click here. So this is the justification way of doing it. And if you want to align it to the right, you do that. You click here. If you want to align it central, and if you want to align it to the left, you also click there. And also, if you want to, you must also make use of the line spacing, and if you want to put it to 1.15, you then click 1.15 is your line spacing. If you also want to maybe I want to change the color, the font color of the word Catholic Church. It is written in black. So what I will do, I will simply select the color of my choice. Remember, we said if you want to underline, you click Control U. This time we want to remove the line, you again click Control U, and that line is removed as well. If you want to add bullets, maybe we've discovered that we want to put bullets on the first two statements. You also add the bullets like this. You add the bullets, and this is another bullet. So this is how you do it. And let's go back to our slide. So formatting text. Again, you can make use of, you can change the headings. Remember, we've got a heading here. And this is heading 1. I want it to be the first heading. So what you do, you click heading 1 and you also select the font type and the font size. You're allowed to change it. You broaden it like this. So maybe this becomes 1.1. Remember how we name the headings like this. So maybe suppose we want to then write heading 2 here, summary. This is now heading 2. You simply highlight and you click heading 2. Normally the font size of heading 1 is smaller than that of heading 2, and then you bold then that, and you can increase it to 14 or 16 like that. So this is how, and maybe heading 2 is now 1.1.2 like that. Or you can say your heading 1 is just 1, so that your heading 2 becomes 1.1. So this is how you put your headings. So you can do the same to heading 3 up to title, up to subtitle like that. You can make use of the format painter. Suppose you've got another heading here, which is the background of study. Background. So I want my background to be just like the summary. So what I will do, I will make use of the format painter by highlighting the text and clicking the format painter and pasting it on the background. So in other words, it will take the exact format, and what I'm only left with is naming it 1.2 like that. So basically, this is how we format our text. Now looking at that, we talked about that. Now let's look at the next thing. Changing the font size, we've done it. Changing the fonts, we've done it. Applying bold or italics, maybe let's look at applying that italics. Now I want to put the name Emperor Claudius II in italics. I can highlight and click the italics, or I can click Ctrl I on my computer. Again, that is how we change it to italics. Then the other thing that we want to do or to look at is underlying. We talked about it, and we said we can make use of Ctrl U and that. Changing the font color, we can change the font color by, let's just try and change the font color of our first paragraph here. We want to change it to blue, not to blue. Let's change it to red like that. So this is how you change the font color of your paragraph or of your text. So you simply highlight and click that. Suppose you also want to change the name or the word Valentine to lowercase, to upper. It's in mixed case, so we want to change it to uppercase. You simply click here, and to lowercase you simply click here. To sentence case you simply click here. To toggle case you simply click here. If you want to capitalize each word in the sentence, you click the sentence and then you highlight and click capitalize each word like that. So this is how you play around with changing the cases of your text. Now let's go back to the we've used the format painter when we changed the headings. We used the format painter, and the changing the case, we've talked about that, and that marks the end of our presentation. Thank you very much.